guys, Spencer with Paracord Survival. So, I've got some good news and some bad news. Unfortunately, the permanent shelter some of you may have seen JT and myself make, it went down. It was kind of expected to. It wasn't built to the highest standards. But what this means is it gives me an opportunity to make a new video for you guys, and that's on a modified debris shelter I'm going to make for my winter shelter at our camp here. So, first thing I've done is clear out everything from the fallen previous shelter. Okay, so here we've got our basis. We've got 4 different points in the ground, and then we've got one center portion that we lashed together with some extra cord we had from the permanent shelter. Alright, for each one of the spots that these main support beams are in, dug out a little hole so they don't slip too much. We've put plenty of pressure down on here, and we're going to trim these down. Now our next goal, our next thing we have to do is run our beam from here pretty much to that tree there, and then we'll start building it up like a normal debris shelter. Okay, here we have our ridge pole right here. Alright, this is going to be the basis of our shelter. So what we want to do is choose a very, I wouldn't say a very large log, but a substantial sized log, because there will be a lot of weight on this. You also want to make sure that there isn't any rot on it. Alright, so this one's a pretty large log. I decided to use this because I just didn't want to cut through it with the saw I currently have. It's just too big. So use this, it provides a good strong support. Okay, so let's start building things up on it. Okay guys, quick status update. As you can see, we're getting some sticks on the sides, doing the same thing on the other side. Now what I'm doing on top is I'll line the sticks up on an angle so they're all kind of pointing this way towards the main support. That way I don't have anything shifting around. Alright, and I'm cutting them just over the top of it. That way, once this is finally built, you don't want sticks sticking too high up above the actual shelter itself, because that'll catch rainwater and you'll have that annoying drip throughout the night. Also, you can see right here the way I'm interlacing them. One on this side will cross over with another one over here. That way it'll just be pushed all the way down, and I have small gaps in between, which I'll put different shrubs and stuff, which will actually catch the leaves. Okay guys, so set up the shelter. I've got the main portion done. That's to the sides of you and behind you. Sorry I didn't bring you along on that. It's kind of a hit and miss thing. Take a branch, set it on there, look at it, too long, cut it, and so on and so forth. Pretty boring step, self-explanatory, I think, at least. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. So now what we're and then we're going to have this open spot we're going to leave open for now, but we might make a door in the winter. Then we'll start putting some branches on it, some smaller stuff to fill in the gaps, and then we'll start adding leaves on. So, excuse the noise in the background. Now what we want to do to finish out this portion, we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side, is take one Y branch that we're going to have down the center, then we're going to have 2 other branches in order to fill this in. So, first thing we want to do, take our Y branch. We're going to set that up like this. This will give us a spot to set a stick up here, and it'll give us a good spot to wedge a stick in right there, because we don't want these sticks moving and falling. Alright, so got this one, good spot to put that in so it doesn't move. And our last stick. So you're just going to have to play around with this stick. That's probably the best spot. You want to make sure you have good strong wood. You don't want rotting wood when you're building this, because you obviously want this to last. You're putting a good amount of effort into building this. Alright, so I want to mention for you guys, I have made many of these shelters in the past before. One thing that I've realized through making all of these is your wood that you choose doesn't have to be very thick, but you want it to be as straight as possible. Alright, because the way things work is after you build it and things sit for time, if there's a bow in the wood, that the part that is bowing in is going to be inside your shelter, and that's going to minimize how much room you have inside. So just a pointer. Also, try and get wood that doesn't have branches sticking off of it, and if they do, break them off very close. Obviously that can be very annoying. Alright. Okay, so before it starts getting too dark inside of this, I want to show you what it actually looks like inside. You can see how it tapers down to the end. The way this is set up is the highest point of the shelter will be right above your head. That, in case you're claustrophobic at all, that'll give you the most area. Okay, so what we're going to do now is start piling on different shrubs and small branches onto the sides. That way we fill in these large gaps right here. And on top of that, once we've got all those branches on, what we're going to do is take surrounding leaves all over, beginning of fall, so we've got a lot of them, and just start layering it on. And as it gets colder and colder, we'll put more and more leaves on. This will give us plenty of insulation. When it gets very cold, we're going to want multiple feet of insulation. Alright, so we have all of our a lot of small shrub stuff on the shelter at this point, and some of you guys may realize that this is very bulky. If I get a side shot, you can see that it sticks out a lot. And if we do that, then we've got a lot more area to fill in with the leaves. So what we want to do is, we've got a whole bunch of other wood over here. We're going to take that and start piling it on. That'll compress it, that'll fill in even more small spots. And we're going to do that to both sides. Then hopefully we can put leaves on it tonight. Yeah, we're running out of time though, so cross your fingers, I'll get it. Alright, so we've got one side of the shelter covered in small branches, twigs. We've got most of the small spaces covered up. Now we don't have enough time to do both sides, but what we're gonna do to get the point across, and so I can post a complete video, is just do this one side that I have the majority of the work done on. Now what I want to do at this point, I'm gonna take my poncho. You can do the same thing. This is a USGI poncho. You can do the same thing with a cheapo poncho, you just need to be more careful. Trash bag, whatever. And then we're gonna fill it up, take it over here, and we're just gonna start piling the leaves up on top. Alright, so behind me, I've got what I can get done on the shelter today. I really put in a lot of work on this, so it took me longer than expected. I've got to go in now, get stuff together for school and such. But I'll come back later on in the future, give you guys an update on the shelter, finish it off for you, and I'll show you what I'm going to do for installation this winter. Thank you guys for watching. This is Spencer with Paracord Survival signing off. Stay alert, stay alive, guys. Thanks.